Saturday night live from Saudi Arabia, it's Rage on the Red Sea, Usyk versus Joshua 2, a rematch between WBA, IBF, WBO, and IBO heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk and former champion Anthony Joshua. Let's break it down. Anthony Joshua is 32 years old. He's 6'6" with an 82-inch reach and a record of 24-2 with 22 knockouts. From Watford, England, Joshua excelled at sports from an early age, but didn't take up boxing until he turned 18, winning the ABA championship in only his 18th amateur fight and turning down a $50,000 offer to turn pro, stating he didn't take up boxing for the money and wants to win medals. After winning a silver medal in the World Championships, he went on to win gold at the 2012 London Olympics and turned pro in 2013 with a first-round knockout after compiling an amateur record of 40-3. He won his first 14 fights by stoppage before knocking out longtime rival Dillian Whyte with an uppercut to lay claim to the British heavyweight title, and in his next fight knocked out Charles Martin with a straight right to win the IBF world title. He defended it twice with knockouts over Dominic, Brazeale, and Molina before taking on the legendary former heavyweight kingpin Wladimir Klitschko. In one of history's greatest heavyweight battles and classic passing of the torch moments, Joshua survived the first knockdown of his career and had to rally back to stop his former mentor at the end of the 11th round to win the vacant WBA and IBO titles. 6 months later, he stopped Carlos Takam and on March 31st, 2018, defeated Joseph Parker by unanimous decision to claim the WBO belt. He defended his title with a 7th-round TKO of Alexander Povetkin, and 9 months later took on last-minute replacement Andy Ruiz in Madison Square Garden. What was supposed to be Joshua's coming-out party in the United States ended up becoming one of the greatest upsets in boxing history when, after scoring a knockdown in the 3rd round, he was dropped twice himself, surviving the onslaught only to go down twice more in the 7th before the referee called a halt to the action. 6 months later, the two met again in Saudi Arabia, with Joshua fighting in a much more controlled and cautious manner and winning back his belts with a wide unanimous decision. On December 12, 2020, he defended his unified titles with a dominant victory over Kubrat Pulev, dropping him twice in the 3rd round before knocking him out with a right cross in the 9th round. 10 months later, he took on former undisputed cruiserweight champion Alexander Usyk, and despite being a heavy favorite, he was thoroughly outboxed by the smaller Ukrainian, who employed superior tactics and footwork to overwhelm him en route to a wide unanimous decision. An expert tactician, Joshua uses a solid jab and good footwork to set up his power shots and has an excellent mastery of boxing fundamentals. Though he can be overly cautious at times, Joshua also has a killer instinct, pouncing on his opponents when they're hurt and finishing them off with an array of hooks and uppercuts. Alexander Usyk is 35 years old. He's 6'3" with a 78-inch reach and a record of 19-0 with 13 knockouts. From Simferopol, Crimea, Ukraine, Usyk, a natural athlete, was a member of the Ukrainian Olympic football reserve before taking up boxing at 15. In a highly decorated amateur career, Usyk went on to win gold medals in the European and World Championships, as well as the gold medal in the 2012 London Olympics. After amassing an amateur record of 335-15, he turned pro at the age of 26 in 2013 with a 5th-round knockout of Felipe Romero. He won his first 9 by knockout before defeating champion Krzysztof Glowacki by unanimous decision to win the WBO cruiserweight title. He defended it twice, a 9th-round knockout over Tibisio Umchuno and a decision over Michael Hunter, before entering the World Boxing Super Series, where he defeated Marco Huck by 10th-round TKO in the quarterfinal. 4 months later, he defeated Latvia's Maris Brazeale for the WBC belt, and on July 21, 2018, defeated WBA and IBF champion Murat Gassiev in the series finale to become the first undisputed cruiserweight champion since Evander Holyfield, and only the 4th boxer in history to hold all 4 major belts. Immediately after winning the tournament, he called out former WBC cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew, who duly accepted in November of 2018. The two clashed in Manchester Arena, with Usyk knocking out Bellew in the 8th round with a precise and devastating 1-2. After the fight, he relinquished his cruiserweight titles, declaring his intention to campaign at heavyweight. Following a series of injuries sustained by himself and his prospective opponents, which delayed his debut by almost a year, he took on Chaz Witherspoon, and despite being outweighed by nearly 30 pounds, he dominated from the start, toying with his larger opponent until Witherspoon retired in his corner after 7 rounds. On October 31st, 2020, he took on former title challenger Derek Chisora, struggling with the Englishman's size and aggression before gradually taking over the fight with his precision and stamina and winning by a close unanimous decision. 11 months later, he challenged unified heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua, utilizing his superior footwork, an excellent jab, and feints to befuddle the champion en route to a dominant and entertaining unanimous decision. After taking off several months to defend his family and his country from an invading Russian army, he was asked by his president and the Klitschko brothers to return to the sport and defend his titles and become a symbol of strength and perseverance to his people. One of the most well-rounded and clinical tacticians in the game, Usyk possesses an excellent combination of footwork, stamina, and ring IQ, dominating his opponents with speed and angles and using his jab to dictate the distance and pace of the fight. Will AJ be able to change his tactics and use his size and strength to overpower the champion and win back his belts? Or will Usyk's speed, footwork, and ring IQ again prove to be too much as he continues his dominant run as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport? Tune in Saturday night to Rage on the Red Sea, and let's find out.